everyone, it's Jenny here and welcome back to a brand new video on my channel. Now, to get straight into 2021, today's video will be a fun-packed album review of PassCode's newest album, Strive. It was released on the 23rd of December, but I just received my physical copy a few days ago, so I finally listened to it in its proper CD format, and today I will be bringing you my review of Strive. Now, before I get into today's video, I just wanted to give a big, massive shout out to a podcast known as Wota of the Roundtable. We have started this podcast at the end of last year, and we have 2 brand new episodes up on our YouTube channel and on streaming platforms, so you get to hear this amazing new podcast. I am part of a team of 4, me, Kelly, Matt and Andrew, and we're all big, massive fans of Japanese music. So if you want to listen to a podcast talking all things Japanese music, then come along to Wota of the Roundtable. I'll be putting all of the links of our social medias down in the description box below. So if you're a big, massive fan of Japanese music, like me, then Wota of the Roundtable will be a podcast that you will enjoy to listen to. Now, when I received my physical copy of Strive, I knew that the artwork was going to be absolutely amazing in this release. I have bought all the PassCode singles in the past, and all of the artwork has been absolutely beautiful. And with the artwork for this, if you can see it there, it's absolutely phenomenal. I don't know who does the artwork for PassCode's CD covers, but it's absolutely beautiful. And I completely forgot that I got this poster alongside buying this album on CD Japan, and it's an absolutely beautiful poster. I've still got to find somewhere to actually hang it up, but I'm really wanting to put this in a frame because it's such a stunning poster. Now, the album does come with 12 tracks, 2 of which have already been released, which are Starry Sky and Anything New. I think another track has been released as well, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm just so in love with this album. This album is jam-packed with the traditional PassCode sound that us guys love. It's full of EDM, it's full of vocoded vocals, it's got amazing guitar riffs, great bass lines, amazing drum patterns. So if you're a big, massive fan of very classic rock accompanied with EDM, then this is the album for you. Now, what I really loved about this album was that it didn't all sound the same. And the way that the track list is laid out, you go through such a cacophony of different sounds, and that's what I really liked about the album, is that I could listen to it from beginning to end and still be surprised and impressed with what PassCode had to offer on this album. Now, the first track on the Strive album was a song called Spark Ignition. Now, I'm just going to be reading off the notes off my laptop just so I can get my thoughts across better. Now, Spark Ignition was definitely a classical sounding PassCode song that I really loved. It started off with this like great 8-bit melody, and it was accompanied with really strong drums and opened with a great intro before the vocals finally kick in. The vocals in this song were typically vocoded PassCode vocals that we've known to come and love, but it sounded absolutely phenomenal. The verses throughout the song are very melodic and catchy, so it sticks in your head. So this track for the album was a great introduction to the album. Now, not only was it a very rock and EDM inspired song, it also included little bits of piano here and there to really build up to the fantastic verses in the song. And what I really liked about this song was that they inserted scream into the song without it being too overwhelming. It fitted in really nicely into this song, and I really enjoyed it from the get-go. And the middle 8 was absolutely a standout in this song for me in terms of the screams, and then for that to be followed by beautiful vocals, it was just a really good song, and it definitely kicked off the album, and it made me excited to listen to the rest of the album. Next track on the Strive album was a song called Majestic. Now, this song opened up with fantastic pop vocals that really engaged me as a listener. Most of the song is in English, like a lot of other tracks in Strive, are very heavily featuring English lyrics compared to their Japanese lyrics, which was a lot of fun to listen to try and pick out how they were pronouncing the English words. Now, this song It was very, very subtle in how they used the guitars to create a more darker feel in this song. But one of the things that I really, really loved, in Majestic especially, was just the bass line in this song. The bass line in Majestic was so fun to listen to. I'm a big, massive fan of bass lines, and when they come to the forefront and they stand out a bit more in a song, it just makes me so happy. Now, the thing with this song that I kind of have to criticise is that with PassCode, a lot of their songs don't usually follow a typical pop formula, which is verse, chorus, middle eight, chorus. They like to play around with different phases of music, and it really, really engages you as a listener, thinking, whoa, what's the next bit coming in this song? But with this one, they kind of did it a bit too much in this song. So it felt like there was 2 or 3 songs kind of meshed together to make Majestic. And I think if they were picked apart and added into 3 separate songs, I think that would have sounded a lot better. However, apart from that, the group chants in the song were absolutely phenomenal. The song starts out with these group chants and then it ends in the same way as well. So despite the phases of this song kind of being a bit mixy-matchy and kind of not going together too well, I think the start and the ending helps the song come into full circle, and it's really the saving grace of Majestic. Now, the third track is a song called Shedding Tears, and I have to say, out of the full album, Shedding Tears is probably one of my favourite songs in this album. It shows how PassCode are experimenting with different things in their music. Now, this one is introduced with beautiful, delicate vocals. It's very melancholic, and it's just really, really nice to listen to without the heavy vocoded effects. And then it kicks into an instant scream, so it's kind of like a nice, quiet, mellow boat ride, and then suddenly the big waves are crashing in. Now, with this song, the chorus is traditional PassCode chorus. It's jam-packed, it's energetic, it's absolutely phenomenal. But what really, really stood out in this song for me is that once you get into the second verse of this song, it then starts to go into more of like house and EDM music, and it's very, very reminiscent of the early 2000s dance scene. I have family that listen to a lot of dance music back in the 2000s, so you listen to artists like DJ KAWAII, Cascada, Scooter, and there's a lot of elements of their music that appears in the second verse of this chorus, which I'm not complaining about at all. I really, really like it when they experiment with different genres, and even though I don't listen to an awful lot of house music, well, I don't really listen to any like house, EDM, dance music on its own, I really, really liked how it was used in this song, and it just sounded so beautiful to listen to then be accompanied with the traditional heavy rock choruses that PassCode are well known for. And the last English verse of at the end of the song, there is a verse fully in English, and it sounded absolutely beautiful in the mix. And what I really, really liked about this song is that they stripped back the vocoder in the vocals, so it definitely showcased that PassCode aren't being hidden by the vocoder. They are showcasing that they are absolutely phenomenal vocalists. And Shedding Tears, it was just so beautiful to listen to the vocals, especially at the end where they're singing the last English chorus. It felt like an ASMR a little bit in my ears with just how the vowels and little bits of the words were enunciated crisply and perfectly, and it was just really, really nice to listen to. And when I was listening to this album, Shedding Tears was my favourite track so far when listening to the album. Now, the next track is Sea's Approaching Brand New Era, and when I listened to this song, I was thrown aback because the way that the vocals were stylised in this song and how they sang, especially with a lot of the English lyrics in this song, I guess it's about 95% English. It kind of reminded me of another idol group that I listened to that are currently disbanded now, called Fairies. They had the same kind of vocal style in their music like PassCode have done with this song, and it really, really threw me off a little bit. It's less rock orientated compared to the rest of the album, and it was a bit of a weird song to kind of listen to for myself. However, they haven't abandoned their core sound. There is still a lot of electric guitars and heavy drums used in the choruses, and the screams are used as a great transition between verses and choruses. But it is a bit more EDM and cool sounding for them as a group. I didn't necessarily hate the song, but I think compared to the rest of the album, C's approaching brand new era, it was definitely going to be a grower for me. The fifth track in the album is a short song called Yin Yang. Now, when I listened to this, I didn't really pay attention to how long this song was going to be. The bass in this little segment of music was absolutely gorgeous and very, very catchy. The intro definitely gripped me, and I was so excited to see what Yin Yang had in store for me as a listener. And I was just really, really excited to listen to more of it because it was really exciting to listen to. And then suddenly it just ended at 1 minute 30. And I thought it was quite a strange placement for Yin Yang to be. I don't know whether it was there to kind of trip the listener halfway through the album to keep them going, oh, what's happening? And then pay attention again. Because I know sometimes when you listen to an album, it kind of molds into one big long song for some people. Whereas this one, PassCode, I think have inserted in this to keep your attention going halfway through the album. Now, for me, as a diehard PassCode fan, I wouldn't really have needed that halfway through the album. I think if it was introduced as an intro to the album, that would have been a much more better placement for the album, just because it's got such a strong musicality to it that really, really grips you. And I think if this was put at the beginning of the album, it would have really made me even more excited to listen to Strive. Now, the sixth track from the album is a song called Atlas. And Atlas, again, is one of my top 3 songs from this album. When I listened to this, it was very reminiscent of other Idol songs that I've listened to in the past. This one is a lot more pop rocky, in my opinion, just because it's such a simple song where it follows a typical pop formula of verse, chorus, middle, eight, chorus. And the vocals in this song are just absolutely beautiful. Now, when I listen to PassCode songs, their choruses are usually full of high register, powerful vocals, whereas this one, it's a bit more toned down, the singing in a bit more of a lower register compared to what they're usually singing, and it just shows their versatility as vocalists, as an idol group. Again, the screamo in this song isn't as heavily featured. However, in this case, I'm really, really happy that it's toned back so it's not too overpowering in the song, and the simplicity of the melodies and the beautiful acoustic guitar in this song are brought to the forefront, and it's just such a beautiful song. And the middle eight was definitely a standout feature in this song. The vocals were so delicate and melancholic, and I felt goosebumps as I was listening to this song, because with everything going on in the world with COVID and everything, this song just made my heart warm up, and I really, really loved Atlas as a song. It's absolutely beautiful, and again, this was another one of my favourite songs from this album, and I definitely recommend it to anyone if I was to introduce PassCode to anyone. My friend Kelly, who's also part of my new podcast, she doesn't really listen to a lot of PassCode, as there hasn't really been a song that's really made her love the group yet. So if this was me, I would definitely recommend Atlas to her, because it's much more of a traditional pop rocky sounding idol song, but it still has that nice little PassCode flavour that makes you fall in love with PassCode even more. The 10th track from the Strive album is another one of my favourites, which is a song called Yours. Now again, this is another stripped back song where it's very simple with beautiful acoustic guitar, really delicately inserted strings that I could just about hear kind of in the background of the music, and it sounded absolutely phenomenal. Again, the vocals in this are very delicate and melancholic. They're not too much belting, but it still features the signature vocoded sound that PassCode are known for. Now, it's been really, really nice to see PassCode explore a more natural sound in this song. It doesn't have a lot of techno or EDM, and looking back on it, I actually don't think this song had any screamo in it either. So it was a bit different to what I'm used to hearing from PassCode, but they really bridged the gap between something new but still having that vocoded effect in the song so that you knew it was a PassCode song. It didn't have a lot of techno and EDM in it, but I really liked the beautiful guitar throughout the song and the little intricate strings. Once again, it was one of the main features of the song that made me really fall in love with it, because I'm a big massive fan of strings in a lot of music. So it was really beautiful to listen to, and I nearly shed a tear listening to this song because it's such a beautiful song and definitely one of my favourites. And it's really uplifting, just like Atlas was. But with this one, because it's placed so close to the end of the album, it sounded like the last song of a concert before they come back and do the encore. So it kind of made me feel a bit sad that I was getting towards the end of the album. But once I heard the gorgeous harmonies at the end, which they were so delicate, they weren't too overwhelming, but the harmonies sounded absolutely beautiful, and it really nearly brought a tear to my eye, and it really made me smile. And Yours is probably a song that is very inspiring for me to listen to, especially with COVID and the UK being in lockdown. So it was really nice to have such an uplifting song like that from PassCode. And again, Yours would have to be one of my top 3 songs of the whole album. It's absolutely beautiful. The next track was another song that I absolutely loved called Golden Fire. Now this one, it brought us back to the traditional rock sound that PassCode are known for. It didn't really have too much EDM in this apart from the vocoded vocals of PassCode, but I really like this. The entire song is in English, however sadly the vocoder on their vocals can kind of mask their English pronunciation, so unless I was reading the CD booklet, I wouldn't have known what they were singing 100%, because I'm not very good at listening to English when Japanese singers are pronouncing it in their Japanese accent. But apart from that, the rest of the song was absolutely so much fun to listen to, and the electric guitars in this song were the main highlight for me in Golden Fire. There was a lot of heavy shredding in this song, and I remember listening to it, I think round about halfway through the song, when they do have the big musical phase where they do introduce like really good guitar solo, whether it's before or after the scream section. But when I listened to this, I actually closed my eyes and thought, wow, whoever did the guitars in this song were absolutely phenomenal. They were so talented, and it was just such a fun song to listen to. And I was thinking, if Starry Sky and Anything New weren't already released with music videos beforehand, I definitely think Golden Fire could have been another potential single release, because it's such a fantastic song. It's great PassCode sounding music, but it's a lot more rock orientated compared to their mix of rock and EDM sounds. Definitely a big highlight on the album for me, especially towards the end, because it kind of reminded me of the encore at the end of a chorus after they've done the more sad song. So it was a really good placement for them to put Golden Fire straight after Yours. The final song of the Strive album is Remnants of My Youth. Now, when I heard the title for this, I kind of had an expectation of what the song would sound like. I was kind of expecting it to sound a bit more like Starry Sky, where it's a very uplifting song and would make you walk away listening to this album feeling uplifted and inspired. But with this one, it's the traditional PassCode sound with EDM, a bit of house music and rock music fused together to make such an amazing song. They've also got other little effects, especially in the chorus, with like the middle eight kind of sound, but it sounds absolutely phenomenal. And with this song, I did notice that they did follow the pop formula: verse, chorus, middle eight, chorus, but they really did really well with that formula, where they could put together a typical pop formula song but annihilate it with their traditional PassCode sound. And it was another great song for me. And again, when I finished listening to this song, I was kind of sad that I was already at the end of the album. And again, it didn't make me disappointed, and it didn't take an awful lot for me to listen to this song either. And that's what was great about the pop formula in the song. It was just so effortless to listen to, and I really enjoyed Remnants of My Youth. Overall, I think the Strive album was definitely a really good album for me to start into 2021. It was what I expected from PassCode, but there were some surprises with them delving into other genres, especially in Shedding Tears and Yours. But it was a good surprise. I was really excited to hear PassCode kind of experiment with other things. And I do remember speaking to some of my podcast mates where I kind of wanted PassCode to kind of explore other avenues of music, to showcase that they are versatile as performers and that they can always have their core sound, but they can venture into other things and keep the listener interested in different sounds in their music. Now, I would have to say my top 3 songs from the album would be Atlas, Stealth Haze and Yours, and it's kind of a mix between Yours and Atlas that have come out as my top favourite song. But then again, I would have to say my favourite song from the full album would have to be Atlas, and I'm really glad that it was bang in the middle of the album. It was just a really nice song. Absolutely loved it. It was a really good album, and if you're a big massive fan of PassCode, then I'm guessing that you absolutely adored the album as well. And I'm very excited to see what PassCode can release later on this year. Strive is an album that I'll probably be binge listening to on my way to work, because I've purchased the physical CD, but I also have it on my Spotify as well, so I will be binge listening to the album. It's absolutely beautiful, and if you want to see more of me discussing PassCode's newest album Strive, then check out the next episode of Wota of the Roundtable, where I will be having a discussion about the album with my other castmates, so you get to see what their thoughts are about the album. They have their favourite songs, they have their favourite moments in the album, but I don't know what their thoughts are about the album. It might be the same as mine, it might be completely different from mine. So if you want to give it a listen, then go and follow us, Water of the Round Table. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to my album review of Strive by PassCode. This is my first full-length album review, and I was so excited to film it and show it to you guys. If you do have any more albums or singles that you want me to review, compared to just doing a simple PV reaction, then please put them down in the comments down below. I listen to a lot of music on Spotify, so if it's available on there, then I will definitely check it out and give you my thoughts about it in upcoming review videos. Again, thank you so much for all of the support. It's been really good to get back into 2021 with such a fun video, and I promise to give you guys more PV reactions and album reviews throughout the year. And again, follow my podcast, Water of the Round Table, to keep up to date with all of the Japanese rock music, pop idols, anything Japanese music related. Just check it out, it's absolutely fun, and I've had so much fun being part of this podcast with really good friends of mine. It's been so much fun, and just the feedback that we've had and the memes being created from the episodes have been so amazing and heartwarming. So come and support us on my new podcast, and I'll see you guys there. Now, thank you guys so much for watching my new video. Again, if you have any requests for any upcoming videos, please put them down in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! I would just like to make the special announcement that I have officially released my own original single. The new single is called KAWAII Killer, and pre-orders for the single opened on the 15th of January, and the pre-orders run until the 30th of January when the song is officially released. It will be available digitally on all streaming platforms, and you can also buy your own physical version on my website JennyInTokyo.com. Now, the pre-orders for the physical CD have nearly sold out, so if you want to guarantee that you can get yourself a physical copy before it all sells out, then please go to my website JennyInTokyo.com. That is the only website where you can get a physical copy of the CD, and alongside that you will get your own CD booklet alongside a photo card inside the CD, so it'd be a nice little surprise for you guys. You can also buy it digitally on jennyhaze.bandcamp.com, where you can add a bit more to the price if you wish. However, it's no obligation at all. And if you do buy digitally from JennyHaze.bandcamp.com, you will also get the digital booklet with that, and also includes brand new photos within that as well. So please support me with my original music, KAWAII Killer, available on all digital streaming platforms from the 30th of January, and is open for pre-orders from the 15th until the 30th. Thank you.